that. So let's dive right into this thing. So athletes, coaches, parents, the biggest thing holding back performance isn't talent or training, it's inconsistency. One week your athlete's locked in, ready to go, right? And the next they're distracted or overwhelmed or unmotivated, right? Today we're going to break down why inconsistency happens, how to fix it, and give two proven tools to build steady habits that separate the good from the great. All right, so intro. Again, we have so many new members. I thank you all for joining. I actually reached out to a lot of you guys. I want to address your problems and see how I can help you solve them. All right. So I'm Ronnie Kenyatta. I spent 12 years as a strength coach with I spent 12 years as a strength coach within the New York Mets organization, working with elite athletes. Helping them get stronger, faster, more athletic, keeping them healthy, and keeping them on the field. All right. And I do that with you all today, but there's a twist, little twist. I also train mindset now. I had a kidney transplant and that messed with my mind. So that forced me to appreciate how important a strong mindset is, right? So that's what we're talking about today. Um, you know, that's what I talk about today to help you guys work on your mindset and become better athletes, all right? So I work with high school, middle school, college, and pros, improving that focus, discipline, and performance. So, all right, so that's my intro there. That's my intro there. I'm sorry, I got a bunch of messages coming in, get distracted there. So let's talk about why does inconsistency happen in the first place. Why are we inconsistent? So we drop a little information here for you. A 2023 study from the Journal of Athletic Applied Psychology found that over 70% of athletes report inconsistency as their biggest performance barrier. 70%, right? And it's not due to laziness. It's due to mental fatigue, poor routines, and unclear structure, right? So how do we get that? Let's break that down. Let's break those points down. So we want to break down the three main causes. Number one, emotional motivation. You rely on how you feel instead of what you've committed to. Let me say that again. You rely on how you feel instead of what you're committed to. All right. An example I used, I did this on Instagram earlier. Example I used over there was you're fighting that battle. Do I get out of bed or do I go to the gym? All right. I feel like crap. Right. I'm gonna lay in this bed. Right. Or I'm committed to being the best athlete I can be. I'm getting my ass to that gym, right? That's that emotional motivation, right? That emotional motivation will keep you on that bed, keep you in that bed. But when you realize what you're committed to, that's going to get your ass to the gym, all right? Lack of structure. Example I used on Instagram, the same one I'm going to use here. The athlete lifting weights on their own, not a bad thing. You're getting it in. But you're going to run into some barriers, right? You're probably going to not execute proper periodization. In other words, when you lift with a structured program, maybe by a strength coach, you're going to understand how periodization on the weight resistance must come up and down as it progresses up, right? Properly manipulating the weights, properly manipulating the resistance. Over time, you're going to run into challenges with that, right? Because you lack structure as an athlete, right? But when you have that strength coach designing that program, you're going to make those gains that you need to peak come game time, all right? Identity gap, I like this one. You haven't fully become the athlete who shows up no matter what. I love that. Because Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face, right? And when you haven't fully become that athlete, that punch in the face comes and you don't know to take it, right? You don't know your identity as an athlete. You haven't fully become that athlete. So that identity gap is a challenge. So you can't rise to your goals. You fail to your system. I said that wrong. You can't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems, right? You fall to your systems, right? When your systems are weak, inconsistency wins, right? We have to have a system in place, right? All right. So I gave you examples on that, right? So segment 2, the psychology behind inconsistency. The psychology behind inconsistency. Neuroscience tells us that our brain craves comfort and predictability. not challenge. We want it nice and easy. Our brain wants to protect us, and that's it. All right. So when you don't have a plan or accountability, your brain chooses the easy route, right? It's so much easier to lay in this nice warm bed, especially today here in Atlanta, it's 33 degrees out of nowhere pretty much. It's so much easier to stay in this nice warm bed, to get up there, take showers, put on the sweats, get out in that 33-degree weather and get your work in. So much easier, and that's where our brain wants to keep us, right? So we have to reframe our brain. Instead of asking why can't I stay consistent, ask yourself what system can I build that removes the need to think about being consistent, right? So why can't I be consistent? We're not going to worry about that. How can we put how can we put ourselves in the situation through a system to become consistent, all right? Example would be most athletes don't need more motivation, they need more rhythm, right? The same wake up time, the same pre-practice routine, same recovery habits. We need that. We need that simplicity, we need that consistency, we need that rhythm, right? When your morning is boring, right? But you find yourself accomplishing your goals, that's where you want to be. Consistency isn't about fun. It's about just that, being consistent, right? Having that rhythm and watching the results manifest, all right? So I always end these lives with two actionable activities that you guys can do now to help overcome inconsistency, all right? So when that inconsistency hits, don't spiral, you have to do a reset. That's what we call it. First thing we need to do, we need to reset. Here's how. Stop what you're doing and take 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. We're slowing things down. We're getting back to the present moment. All right. Ask yourself, what would the best version of me do right now? Let's go back to the bed analogy. Nice warm bed, freezing outside. I know I can stay here. There's nothing making me leave here right now, right? Nothing. But, say I want to, I know I need to get out that bed, right? I need to reset my mind, right? So the question you want to ask yourself is, what would the best version of me do right now? Would the best version of me stay warm and comfy in this bed? Would the best version of me get out this bed, take a cold shower, do some push-ups, and get my ass to the gym and get this work in, right? What would the best version of you or your athlete do right this moment, right? That's the question you need to ask. Deep breath, that's basically self-talk, okay? Implement some type of positive self-talk that directs you towards consistency, right? Take one small action from that point. It could be popping out the bed, doing some push-ups, right? It could be journaling, but it has to be something that'll get you to that gym, that'll get you towards consistency, right? Take one small action, push-ups, a quick stretch, or writing down your goals tomorrow. Whatever it is, you have that in place. Have that in place, right? Take that action. That's going to propel you to where you need to be. Now, why does this work? This breaks down the avoidance loop. It breaks the avoidance loop. Research from behavior science and sports shows that small wins immediately shift the brain from inertia to action. I like that. One small act restarts momentum. One small act restarts momentum. So you don't need to feel ready. You just need to move, right? Actionable activity number 2, the non-negotiable. 3 things. There's 3 things you're going to do every day, no matter how you feel. These will become your consistency anchors. There's a hummingbird hanging out right by me. Oh, he moved. All right. So there's 3 things you're going to do every day, no matter how you feel. These become your consistency anchors. An example: morning hydration, gratitude. Right. 10-minute stretch and body activation or activity. Review one performance goal before you go to bed. That's the last one. That's the third one. Review one performance goal before you go to bed. All right. So those are the 3 things. Those are your 3 non-negotiables. Couple that with taking that action, right? The first actionable activity, 3-minute reset. That's what it's called, 3-minute reset. Stop what you're doing. Take those 3 breaths. Positive self-talk towards your goal, right? What would be the best version of me? What the best version of me do right now? That's the example I use. And take one small action. Writing a goal, push-ups, whatever it is. That's the 3-minute reset. And then we have the non-negotiable. All right, there's 3 things you're going to do in the morning no matter what. Morning hydration and gratitude, a quick 10-minute stretch, and then review your performance goals. Those are just examples I came up with. All right, so Now, what that does, it turns discipline into identity, right? Discipline becomes the new you. Studies show athletes who maintain three simple daily routines are 47%, almost half more consistent in their performance across a season, not after a couple games, across the entire season. You become halfway better with three simple activities, consistent activities. Now, to become 50% of a better athlete, you think it's worth it to do three simple activities consistently? I think you know the answer to that, right? Parents, coaches, everybody, I think you know the answer to that. So let's wrap this thing up. So, inconsistency is a character flaw. It's a lack of system, rhythm, and accountability. You can fix that. The key is to stop restarting and start refining, right? Every rep, every choice, every day builds your identity as a consistent athlete. So the final challenge, pen and pads out, final challenge for the next 7 days. Pick your three non-negotiables, right? And your 3 minute reset and track it, right? Don't skip. At the end of the week, ask yourself, did I get more consistent or did I stay comfortable? All right? So that is it. Now, if you want to improve your consistency, your routines, develop a system for your life and for your performance, you need to check out my Elite Athletes Unite community. Check out the post I put up there last night. It should be at the top right now. Check that out. We build consistent athletes. We build elite athletes. All right, that's priority there. All right, you're gonna learn routines. You're gonna learn habits. You're gonna learn how to power your mind to lead you to your goals. All right. Um, so check that out above, the Elite Athletes Unite community. And if you're interested in that, drop a thumbs up in the comments or shoot me a DM. Whatever works for you, thumbs up in the comments, DM. And then if you thumb me up, I'll definitely reach out to you. So the Elite Athletes Unite community, all right? That's where consistency gets built through accountability, coaching, and the team that refuses to let you fall off. That's what we do. That's what we're about, all right? So again, you see the information there. You guys have a great Monday. You guys have a great rest of the week. I'm glad I got this in with you guys. Like I said, StreamYard let me down today, but we're here. We got it in. So thank you all. You have an amazing week, and I will talk to you right here in the group soon. Peace.